you know, smoke detectors, having smoke detectors in your house, checking the batteries. I don't know if you guys read the newspaper, but that Watson Street fire was, that mother was probably seconds, maybe a minute from getting the kids out of that fire. So she was woken by a fire, or by a smoke detector. So it's really important to have those working smoke detectors. How many people in here burn food and take their battery out of their smoke detector? I think everybody does, right? And they don't put it back in. At one time you don't put it back in, is the time it's going to happen. And a lot of people don't think about the fire department because they don't need the fire department all the time, you know, until they need it. And it's never going to happen to me, but I think we've seen it a couple times here in Ripon over the last year, and it's happened here and it's happened to me. The person who said it's not going to happen to. So, carbon monoxide, you have a carbon monoxide detector in your house. Carbon monoxide is what? You don't know what carbon monoxide is? What is it? When you say
The visible killer.
Right, invisible killer. You can't smell it, you can't see it, you can't taste it. You're going to go to bed and just not wake up the next day. So, really important to have that carbon monoxide detector about this time of the year also, because people are getting their fireplaces going, furnaces going, fireplace safety. We have a lot of fires from chimney fires, and what happens when it's not just a chimney, how many times, I can't tell you how many times I've been to a fire, and I come back on your front door, and you're like, what are you doing there? Well, there's fire blowing out of your roof. You don't even know it because you're sitting inside and everything above you is above the roof. You don't notice it, you don't smell it, you're downstairs on the first floor watching TV. So, you know, that fireplace fire gets into your attic, gets going, you don't even know it's up there. So fireplace maintenance is important. A couple things, when you call 911, you know, if you call from a cell phone, it's going to go to the county. It's not going to go to Ripon. If you call from your home phone, it's going to go straight to Ripon. So there may be a little bit of a, and I say a delay, not a big delay, like within seconds delay, because it's got to go to county and then county transfers it to Ripon. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also keep in mind one of the biggest fire causes that I've seen. What do you think it is? Just curious.
Dryer vent.
No. You're not going to believe this when I tell you. Yep. A bathroom exhaust fan. Okay. Bathroom exhaust fans, don't leave them on. They cause a lot of fires. Okay. I mean, yes, cooking, candles, all that stuff. Let's talk about candle safety for a minute. We had, I'll tell you a quick story. Sunny day like this on a Sunday afternoon. I'm getting goosebumps right now, but 3 blocks from the fire station, we get a house fire. Okay, not here in my past experience. 3 blocks away, we get a house fire. When we got there, we were there within 4 minutes of the initial fire. Sunday afternoon, fire was coming out of every window in the first floor, and the kids were trapped on the second floor. Okay, 2 kids trapped on the second floor. What happened was people broke out those windows thinking that was a good thing to do. Okay, and what did it do? It just fed the fire. Okay, so we get there, family's outside, mom and dad are outside, kids are trapped on the second floor. What happened was mom came home, and mom, dad, and the kids came home, and it was the kid's birthday. So we bought them a PlayStation. They went upstairs to play PlayStation. Mom, I can't remember what mom was doing. She went outside, and dad wasn't feeling good, so went to take a nap on the couch. Well, on the couch there was a candle. Okay, knocked the candle over. They had a drape covering the upstairs. That got going within seconds. Okay, I wish I could pull up this video and show you. You should watch it. But within seconds, they could not get. When we got there, we couldn't get to the kids through the stairwell. We went. There was a little area outside that we got up onto the roof, busted out the window upstairs, went through the bathroom window to get the kids, and we found them huddled together in the second floor at the end of the hallway. Okay, they didn't make it, but the point is candle safety. Candle safety is so important. This time of the year, what are people doing? Christmas lights. You know, we'll have Christmas lights soon. We already have them in the stores, but we'll have them soon at home. Candles, fire safety. Everybody takes it for granted, but it's important because it can happen. It can get you. So, there's somewhere else I was going with this. Questions as we go along. Just throw them out. Throw out the questions. Go ahead.
What's with the bathroom exhaust fans?
I don't,
What makes them?
I can't explain it. I can't explain it.
Is it electrical or is it debris?
I think it's a thing that they're not probably supposed to last very long. Maybe maintenance, cleaning it, something like that. Poor insulation, especially if it's I'm talking attic or bathroom fans on the second floor where there's an attic above it. You know, that insulation gets going because it overheats. So just keep that in mind. Don't leave your fan on. And there's a lot of fire causes. Cooking, poor housekeeping. I can't say enough against poor housekeeping. You know.
Well, it's gonna burn for sure.
Space heaters, leaving stuff next to your heaters. You wouldn't want to live with me because my kids think I'm yeah. I don't know what the nice word to use is. Because I'm too strict. I'm too anal when it comes to fire safety. I mean, you know. So questions, throw them out. I don't know. But
You said they didn't make it, the whole family died?
no, the 2 kids died. And they still live in this house. They still live in that house today. And they have a cross outside, 2 crosses, and you know, I can tell you a million war stories. I'm not going to sit here and tell you war stories, but I'm trying to get the point across that it can happen. This video, I wish I could send it out to everybody, but the video, they did 2 rooms. They burned 2 rooms. One room had old furniture in it, antique furniture that was made of like wool and downs and stuff. And they had another room with today's modern furniture. They had the same room set up, same amount of chairs, same everything. They had a curtain draped. They lit it on fire with a candle. Did you see it?
That's true, yeah.
Okay, they lit it on fire with a candle. And that room, when we say flashover, that means everything in the room, from floor to ceiling, everything is on fire. How long do you think it was for that room, the modern room, to burn today?
Went really
Fast,
fast.
they're probably in the whole stuff.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
3
All
minutes.
that's in settings.
Okay. The old room, 13 minutes until it flashed. Okay. Also, what else do we got going against us? We got, in the old days, all these old houses. I was just at a house the other day. It would not go out. Okay. But it was built well. It was built with heavy 2x4s and 2x6s. And nowadays, it's all glued together. So not only do we get there, how long does it take us? It takes us 9 minutes to get there. By the time our pagers go off, we get to the station, we get our stuff, we get there. 9 minutes. 3 minutes is all you had to get out. And when we get there 9 minutes later, for us to go into the fire, we're gonna hit it from the outside first. We're gonna try to put as much stuff from the outside. Because when we go in, it's already gonna be in collapse, ready to collapse, or collapse by that point. So we're against the 8 ball too. And I'm not gonna, if somebody's in this room and it's fully involved, nobody's gonna live in there anyway. So I'm not gonna put a firefighter in there and kill a firefighter to save nobody. We're gonna risk a lot to save a lot, but we're not gonna risk a lot to save a little. Does that make sense? So, questions? I don't know if I'm just gonna,
When can I burn my brush pile? When the corn's all picked at my farmer's place?
in a township?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, you can burn as long as you make a phone call and you call the county and you call the city dispatcher and tell them you're gonna burn. And it's a controlled burn. You can burn. So just make sure it's controlled. A little bit about the fire department. We used to charge a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. Before I came, we used to charge $500 to go on any call. We don't do that anymore. The only thing we charge for is if we go to a call, we go to a car accident. We charge for car accidents and we charge for fires. If we have to pull a hose line and put a fire out, you're going to get charged for that. Okay? But if we go there and the fire's out, we do some ventilation, you're not going to get charged for that. If a fire alarm goes off, you're not going to get charged for that. Unless we come back 3 times for the same reason. Okay? So don't be afraid to call. I think that was a big thing last time was when people were getting, you didn't want to call because you didn't want to charge $500 every time a fire. And I think we were doing a disservice to the residents by doing that because now you're not wanting to call us. You're doing everything you can and, you know, to put your fire out and then it got too late, so on and so forth. So that's the other thing. You know, fire extinguisher, when we do fire extinguisher training, fire extinguishers are meant to put out that garbage can right there. They're not meant to put out a couch that's burning, or they're meant to hit a fire, small fire, on your way out. Don't go in to fight the fire. If you see the fire and it's there and you're passing by it, take the extinguisher, hit it, and leave. Okay? But people have a tendency to fight their own fires. I can give you an example. One in town that he thought, hey, I got the garden hose out. He squirted it. Before you know it, like, no, it's up behind the wall. He can't get to it. So what did that do? That just let it get that much further ahead and put us behind the 8 ball that much further. So, questions? Haley, am I hitting what you want me to hit?
Yeah, I mean, maybe talk a little bit about if a fire were to occur, what not to use to put the fire out. Yeah, baking soda, just the basic.
Yeah, we're gonna show you. We got a fire outside. We'll put some water on it, and we'll show you what happens when water gets on a grease fire. What happens? Flares everywhere.
You ever have people with barbecue grills that put them in the garage and the coals are still hot?
Oh, the turkey.
That's the worst issue, because when I was a kid, we had a neighbor that did that, put coals in the garage. So fumes or whatever, that, go to the ground and
Yeah.
it comes up so it gets the coals, the whole garage.
Really? We were on, this is where I came from. We were on shift one day and we got a call for a house fire. And my partner says, hey, that's close, it's on the same block as my house. So we pulled out, you could see it. You could see it from a mile away. Okay, it was already way, way ahead of us. But it was his house. Okay? What happened was, he had an outside fire, he had a bonfire 3 days earlier. Okay? 3 days. The day before, that morning when he left for work, he took it over and he moved it towards the house to whatever they were going to do on the patio. Okay? Moved it. That stirred up a little bit of action, and that stuff that was still hot underneath it almost 3 days later, I think it was like 2.5 days, but almost 3 days later, was still hot. Got enough of that coals for that oxygen. It was a windy day, and just took the house down.
Wow.
So, just when you think it's out, it's not out. Okay? Don't think it's out. So, but yeah, use the right materials to fight the fire, and don't fight the fire. Okay, that's the important part. Don't fight the fire. And I'm telling you, every one of you in this room, it can happen to you. It can. And I do the inspections in town, and I'm going to tell you, I'm surprised we don't have more fires. And what I mean by that is some housekeeping, some things that I don't, as a fire inspector, I don't have control over. Okay? Something. How about some of the houses we drive by, housekeeping wise? I can't go inspect somebody's personal residence. Okay? So at home, keep it clean. At your place of employment, know what to do in case of a fire. Get out, stay out.
Yeah.
So.
And we do have drills that we do once a month, I think, or we've been.
Yeah, I will tell you that there was one person who I listened to talk at a seminar one time, and they were in their own home, and they had a fire. It was an apartment complex. They had a fire, and how many times do you think she lived there for 3 years? How many times do you think that person did the same routine for 3 years? But when it came time, and that place was filled with smoke, and in the panic, she couldn't find her way out. Okay? She was dragged out unconscious. She lived, but she was dragged out unconscious, but she couldn't find her way out of her own home that she lived in for more than 3 years. Think about that. Right now, if you had to close your eyes and you were upstairs in your house, not only closing your eyes, but you can't see, there's fire and you know it, and it's hot, how are you going to get out? So that's why, right, you're still going to panic. And that fire down here on Watson Street, I got to tell you, I can't give our police department enough credit that day for what they did, trying to get people out, knocking on doors. But if you saw the video, I don't know if you guys saw the video, what was that cop doing when he came out in the front? What was he doing? Coughing and hacking up. How long was he in there? A minute, came out, got some fresh air, went back in, came out, That was a minute. And the smoke wasn't super thick in the front either, okay? So, a lot of smoke, you know, you're not gonna be able to stay in there very long. So, any other questions? Or questions? Throw them out, I got nothing but time, yes.
Spontaneous combustion too, you gotta worry about that.
Yeah,
Because we had a friend one time who built a new house, he was doing the woodwork. He was doing the stain,
the rags.
the rag, and they put the rag in the garage, they went to eat dinner, they came back and their house was
Yeah.
on fire. In that short of time,
What
it's
about
been
chemicals?
And again, please, I mean, you know, I don't want to come to your, I don't want to pull up some of your houses in the next 3 weeks because I failed doing something. But make sure when you go home, take it and take it to heart what we just talked about, because it can happen to any one of us. So, including me.
So you don't recommend using baking soda or salt on your stove if something flares
I've never read that.
up?
No, I recommend calling 911 and getting out of your house. That's what I recommend. Because you're gonna think you have it, you might be, what if it grows, I mean, we could what if it forever, but put the lid on, if you can do anything, put the lid on and walk away. Get out. Okay? Anything else?
You know, my in-laws, their house caught on fire and went how the fire department figured it happened. My mother-in-law did her laundry, folded up the towels, put them in the closet, and they weren't totally dry to burn the house down.
Really? A lot of people do that.
You know, we had a,
I think that.
probably the heat in there. A lot of times when you
And
take
no-
it right out of the dryer, you stack it in and you put it in your closet and you leave. You're asking for trouble. Make sure your towels make sure your clothes is dry and not
And
cool.
cool.
I do that.
Okay.
To save your house.
That, I had something about it. But yeah, the crazy things. The video that they showed about those two different fires inside, they also interviewed this couple who was actually redoing their house, and it was caused by a toaster oven that was stuck on. So they used it, it was stuck on. They didn't realize it. They went about their own business in the morning, getting dressed or whatever. They left, came back, no house. So from a toaster oven. We just recently in town had somewhere that, and the fire department's taking a new stand, and like if you have a fire alarm here, you're not to reset your own fire alarm. Number one, it's against the law, okay? Number two is that it's not your job. I can give you 2 instances in town. Number one is you reset the fire alarm, the little old lady reset the fire alarm in her multiple family dwelling of seniors, and there was an issue upstairs, but she didn't know. She was on the first floor, that was on the 4th floor. Third floor or 4th floor, okay? Another one, we just went for a microwave. Activated fire alarm, and it was caused by burnt food in the microwave, okay? Now, do I take the police's word for it? Yes. Are we still gonna come? Yes. Why? Because it's our job to make sure that there's not a problem when it comes to the fire department. We go in there, what happened? This plastic thing that was melting, burning in the microwave, stopped burning. They took it out and they threw it in the garbage can.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
It was out, it wasn't burning anymore.
Yeah.
But they took it out and threw it in the garbage can. So what happened? In the garbage can, everything was kind of smoldering at the bottom, and the bag was all melted. So when somebody says, oh, it was caused by microwave, burnt food, and there's no problem there. To me, there's still a problem. Until one of us see it, or I see it, there's still a problem. And I can give you 100 stories where there's no problem here, there's no fire here. Well, yeah, there is a fire. So, other questions?
We have an interconnecting alarm system into our group home. So if we burn the toast and it goes off, we still need to,
Yeah. And I've been trying to get,
Nice to reset it.
I've been trying to get the word out, okay? And that is, you do not reset your own fire alarm, okay? You don't, I don't want you guys going to find out why the fire alarm went off. I want you to protect the people that are there, so get them in a protective place. I just had this discussion with Kmart, okay? Fire alarm goes off at Kmart, what are we gonna do? Evacuate the store? It's 20 below zero. No, get everybody to the front. That's your job, where we can get them out right away if we need to, and let us come in and find out what it is. If you have burnt toast, and you know that's what it is, 100%, and there's nothing else going on, and you silence the alarm, I'm okay with that. If you know, and if you know, but you're taking a risk when you do that. Just like that woman who reset the fire alarm, you know, can we have, the other day, we had a fire alarm at the one place behind the PD, the new place, the Commonwealth. And we had a fire alarm at J-Stone at the same time. Okay? Two different reasons. A dryer vent from J-Stone and a system malfunction over here. But could it be that you have something going on with burnt toast, but there's something else going on here in the building you don't know about? So just be careful when you silence the alarm, and when you reset it. If you know what it is, tell the dispatcher you know what it is, so she can tell us. Are we still going to come? Yes. Are we still reset it? Yes. Are we going to bring the whole fire department? No. Okay. But we're going to take that responsibility.
Well, but last year I was working at May Party and I burnt the butter, and so the alarm went off. I shut it off, went through the process of the phone call and all that. But then I was the one to reset it. Is that okay?
No.
It's through, what's it through? That sounds right, yeah.
No. Today's day? No. Back then?
No, they reset it.
Probably.
So that's changed since last year?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. What's that?
Doesn't Accucon reset?
Yeah, they reset.
Well, I didn't know that because I thought last
No,
year I
you have to
reset
reset
it.
it on your keypad.
Yeah.
You have to reset the alarm in your place. They don't reset the alarm from another place. Okay? So you reset it, on their end, it's reset too, and they know that, but they don't actually reset the alarm. Last year we were in a big thing where people would cancel the fire department. There's no more, like for alarms. The college, for example, their fire alarms would go to their public safety, they'd check it out, and then they would reset the fire. We don't do that anymore. It goes to the fire department first call. The second call can come to you as the supervisor of this building, but the first call has to go to the fire department, and that wasn't happening. And again, resetting your own fire alarm, you can't do that. It's against the law. Now, if you're in a single family home, you can reset your own fire alarm. I have no jurisdiction there. Okay, we're talking multifamily businesses, and pretty much that's it. Places of assembly.
The evacuation drills like the schools, the janitors always resetting all that.
Drills you can reset your own alarm. Yeah, I don't want you calling me over here for fire drills.
Okay.
But drills you can reset your own fire alarm. Stuff like that. Make sure you take it out of service with the alarm company and then reset it. Okay. When we go outside, we're going to do some fire extinguisher training. Does anybody know what the acronym? Pass. What is it?
Hold the pin, aim, squeeze the trigger, and sweep.
There you go. Okay.
Yay.
When I worked at Bethesda, we had fire safety every year, and we did the fire extinguisher every year.
A couple things. When you do that, when you do it, number one, you don't get right up on it. Start squirting it as you're from, if you're the pan, I would start squirting it from here as I'm getting closer. Okay, and you want to sweep it. You want to take and sweep it away. All right. The other thing is, when you're done, never turn your back on it. Okay. So take a couple step back while you're watching it at the same time. Okay. Just don't fall.
Is that the water one, or is that the?
Otherwise I can tell you.
What?
Well, at the store over there, I had one that was water that came out.
Yeah. Any one of them. It's the same thing. It's sweeping. It doesn't matter what kind of fire extinguisher it is. Okay. So, you guys got other questions or?
I'm confused about this Accucon thing now.
Okay.
Because if we have something burned, they call us, and we tell them, well, it's just a hamburger or something.
Okay, that's a problem right there. If that's happening, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
What did she
Okay.
say?
Are you the boss of that?
I am not the boss of them, no.
Just our training lady.
Who's your boss?
Donna Bank,
Okay.
748.
Don't call her, she's
First
gonna
of
be
all,
on.
you cannot do that. That fire, it's illegal, number one. Number two, and just because it's been done this way for a long time, it's been done this way. The first call from your alarm company has to go to the fire department. Okay? Then,
That's not what's happening.
okay, well, I need to follow up on that,
Yeah.
because that's the way it should work.
Yeah.
It doesn't go you to find out if there's a problem, then call the fire department. It goes to the fire department, then they call you,
Oh, boy.
then they call you, and then you say, yeah, it's burnt toast, we don't need anybody, or we're okay, it's burnt toast. Okay, the alarm
They tell
company
us to
then,
reset the thing.
right, but it shouldn't be doing that. Okay?
It's not.
As a,
It's not.
next year, in January, there'll probably be a hefty fine for resetting your own fire alarm. So, not the first time, but because we have to give the community time to understand this and know it. And we've been working on it for a year. I thought we've been pretty good. I thought we were really good with places. So, but the college, Ripon Medical Center, all these places, they know that rule. Okay, so again, we have to address that. We have to address that. Now, I won't say your names, but I'll
Doesn't matter.
throw it up there.
Yeah,
But,
because
yeah.
I didn't.
And if there's a problem, you guys know what it is. I want you to call 911 or call dispatch and tell them, but know that we're gonna come anyway.
See, the way our policy is right now, which is obviously not correct, is we're supposed to stay off the phone.
Right.
Because AccuCom is gonna be calling us to find out if it is a real fire, so we can't even call anybody.
Because I learned
That's
that
the
by
way
doing
we
it
call
wrong.
it,
I
yeah.
was trying to call them, they were trying to call me, in the meantime, the fire department.
My first call has to go to the fire department. I don't know, yeah, first call has to.
We'll go through
And I'll
that
follow up
with,
with that next week or,
yeah,
you know,
follow
next
up with
week.
Al and Donna.
Yeah.
Maintenance too.
Yeah, but that's why we're doing this.
Does that vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, from district to district?
It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to, but in the real world, does it? Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
Because some of our facilities are right, like in different jurisdictions. There's some in Winnebago County, right? Green Lake County. And so there's different areas.
probably the ones that, and that Ripon's not big, okay, but it's big enough. Ripon, you go to anywhere that has a town the size that we do, it's probably the same thing, okay? Where you get that change is in the rural departments, and the rural communities don't, they have that volunteer department that, they only have a couple businesses in town, and nobody really, I don't know, I'm not saying nobody follows it, but again, since I came here, we're gonna follow the rules, we're gonna play by the rules, and we're gonna do things the right way. And whether it's something I come up with that isn't a rule, but it's the right way, it's the right way. You know, do you want, I'm gonna ask you something. If you had a fire, what do you want to happen? What else? Do you want the alarm company calling you to ask you if there's a fire? Can they help you?
No.
No, they can't help you. And that, what did we just talk about? That 3 minutes, okay, is huge, huge. So, yeah, so I'm gonna follow up with them on Monday, so. And, I don't know, is it Al I gotta talk to?
I mean, it's not even them, it's the company.
It's probably what they've set up though with,
It's what they've set up, yep.
set up, so
Yep.
that needs to just change.
Right, and that's what's happened in a lot of places like, Hilltop.
Yep, Hilltop.
Old Country Acres.
Old Country Acres is not interconnected.
No,
You're pointing
behind
way out.
Speedway. Behind
You
Speedway.
need Quick Trip.
Quick Trip, I think.
Good.
with the drill, I've got to
Yeah.
get some clearing me, so
Yeah.
we're putting it back online, so we never get.
No, and so, yeah, it's not supposed to get that far, but sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. What happens more often is somebody takes it out of service, and when I'm out of service, to repair it, and I take it out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then the 3 o'clock dispatcher comes in, you know, the alarm person, and then at 3:15, they're sending the fire department out because they just got another fire alarm when the message didn't get translated, you know, passed on. So, but
A few of us are drivers. There's always fire extinguishers on buses. Are we supposed to use those, or do we just evacuate and get the heck out of the way and call 911? You know, there's 40, 50 gallon tanks on those.
you're asking a tough question. Where's the fire at? If it's in the engine compartment area, you're not going to get, and it's coming out the dash. Okay, you're going to hit the dash and think it's out. It's not out. So at that point, do you hit the fire and start getting people out and watch and try, you know, and again, work your way back from wherever the closest point to that fire, those people out first, and you know, getting the people out of the bus. Whether you have to use the fire extinguisher to help you with that, or whether you can just do it. If you can just do it and let the bus go, I'm sorry to say, but the bus is replaceable. So, and you're not going to get to that fire. I'll give you an example. We had a dumpster fire out here, okay, on the Tolman, and the cop gets there, and he takes his fire extinguisher, and he goes up there and he hits this dumpster. Now, a dumpster is as big as it's one of those commercial dumpsters, okay? Good intent. Was he going to put the fire out? No. Not a chance. Okay. 3 years ago, you guys probably remember this. 3 years ago, 2 firefighters, right? And where was that at? In Wisconsin, fire dumpster fire. Remember that? God, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Supply Green Bay area on the other side of the loop.
But again, so I wasn't mad at the police officer. Did I educate him? Yes. Hey, next time, don't bother. Nothing's gonna, it's not hurting anything. And what if there's something in there? We don't even, if our new policy on dumpster fires, if we come to a dumpster fire, we don't take a hose line and go up to the dumpster and put it out anymore. We don't do that. It's that we have this gun on the top of the fire engine that shoots a stream out, okay? That's how we do it. We do it from 50 yards away, and we fill it with water. That's how we put it out. We don't fight fires that way anymore. Car fires.
The dumpster fire was that, there was something in there that blew up.
That was at a factory.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, killed one guy and maimed the other guy, I guess, or whatever. But for a dumpster fire, you know, we never know. Car fires, even car fires now, how many departments shoot a dead gun in a car fire? Not many. This one does, because I'm not going to put my guys up there until, what if something's in that car? You don't know. These days with cars, you don't know. So trucks, the same thing. So again, you know, if you see us fighting a fire from the outside, it's because I'm not going to risk a lot to save a little. Okay? I'm going to risk a lot. We're going to risk a lot to save a lot. But when it comes to car fires, dumpster fires, anything, it's our safety first. So we changed our way of fighting fires a little bit.
Let's say you do have something on the bus and you decide that you're going to evacuate. Would you go with the most mobile first? Or would you go and take by position?
I would take from the closest to the fire first.
To the back.
And if those other people can get out on their own, get out on your own. If they get out, they fall out, and they get up and crawl away. I mean, you know, I'm not saying to let them all fall out of the bus, but if you got somebody in a wheelchair, or you got somebody who needs help getting out, and you got 3 people who can walk but they can't step out of the bus, hey, get out of the bus anyway. Go, jump, get out of the bus, because I need to move these people.
Did you
That-
push them?
Huh?
Did you push them?
I might tell you a question.
No, would you? I did.
When you saw his motions, what do you think?
No, I just wondered about it. I wish I could answer that for you, but I can't.
Have the 2 most mobile
Every-
people and help the other ones out down the
Yes.
steps and stuff.
the thing is staying calm.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of times it finds her to freak out.
Yeah, you have to stay calm. I use the word spaz out, okay? And I think part of this is, you know, I've been in the fire service 25 plus years, okay? I've seen a lot, and sometimes I expect my firefighters and my officers to act the same and not spaz out and be calm. And, you know, you gotta stay calm. You gotta stay calm. We have to stay calm. If we don't stay calm and we get to the scene of a fire and we don't, you pull up to a fire and somebody's yelling, their kids inside, their pets are inside or whatever, you know what? Or just screaming about losing their house. Is that stress on us? Yes. Do we have to ignore that? To a point. We have to stay calm and we have to stay on task and do our job. Okay? I was sitting in an office of one of my bosses the other day, yesterday or the day before, and we went for a house fire next door. And, you know, it's like the pager goes off, and was I running? No. And he said, shouldn't you be moving a little faster? I'm like, I'm going, you know. If I start spazzing out or I start moving faster, my adrenaline's gonna go up. I'm not gonna do something. I'm gonna do something stupid. Okay. So it's my way of dealing with trying to, you know what I mean, the adrenaline. Okay. Okay. Right. And other people feed off of it. So I don't know how much more you want to go into.
No, we can head on out, and that way everyone gets a chance before our time is
If you guys have questions while you're out there, feel free to ask them. We'll just go out there. Everybody's gonna do a fire. We do battalions. There's 5 people, 7 people on each time. Mike, you want to show them what the water first? Yep.
I don't like loud noise.
Yeah. Type of mulch and everything.
I'll freak out.
That didn't work. No, that worked good. Okay, the guy who normally does the parachute training obviously isn't here. So try it again. That's good, Mike. That's good. That's gas. Gas and water. Alright, so why don't we there we go. Alright. So you want to bring an extinguisher over this way? Yeah. Actually I'll walk up with it. Who's first? Alright, here we go. So, there you go. So the first thing you're going to do is what?
That's how come it's getting green. See?
Name it. And then, now that, keep going, keep walking closer because that's... Keep going, once you go, once you stop. There we go. Alright, stop. Okay, then back up. Perfect. Right there. Next.
And the extinguishers we have in our homes put out anything that we're gonna need.
No, but see that's
Yep.
Did he just start that over?
Now, you started a little bit earlier, but that's fine. Okay.
Things that Cal doesn't even know that we've changed, you know, and stuff. So, but no, just try to remember that. I'll try to remember to write it down. But there are two sheets or something. But I didn't get that on there, so that must have, I must have wrote that all out before the meeting started.
Careful with that.
Still wearing that boot? Well, it was off for a while. And it came back?
Oh, jeez. up. Start. I do the can. Just go there. Start the quarter. Pull it down the bottom.
No, run.
But that was how you do it.
Possible. All right, actually, what would be possible? Yeah, hopefully we'll say that we're so. Yeah, I put it going. Another one.
That was full. Obviously, right? All right, next.
It needs to be re. And I just left it on the floor because I thought, obviously there's something I don't know how to make this stand up. Then I was going to
When you're doing this, you want to get close enough to the fire so you're not wasting your
Yeah, you can tell her.
your powder in there. Okay.
I can do that too, but it's probably easier for you to tell me.
Scare you that one? That one's not. All right, go ahead.
She's a smart one. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah, I would try to save as much like I'm gonna push my cat to be first, but wow.
I don't think. Well, you would know if she wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, Raquel didn't say her.
At the bottom.
I just hope she gave us you got your fire because I don't want to do a special sort of
Still out.
How I touch all the cats. They try to cat carrier. Get out if they have to.
Next.
That's work. That's horrible. It's work. You say you're very short staffed.
Yeah, we have one that used to try to say all the time. One time he was successful. He snuck under our dog, thinking we wouldn't see him. Help, I can't bring it to. So he was first at 3 in the morning chasing around the dog and the cat on the driveway.
I got a lot of perfume on. I'll probably
You're next. Keep going.
Eats the liver here, right?
way down there. Oh, they're real, yeah. And I grew them. Yeah, they're okay. But today I I gotta go to work in 3 o'clock.
Remember when you're doing this to remember when you're doing this, start at the bottom, okay? Okay. All right. There we go. Good.
It was perfect.
Just blame it on the boat.
Yeah, it was the boot.
turn me around.
You did good, you didn't fall.
I still have to walk that way.
You too.
Walk backwards. Next.
No, I got it. Yeah, I was just wondering if.
Anybody else wants to try?
Somebody asked me if I'm
The fire department, right?
Chris, do you think they should do that turkey dinner?
I don't have a problem with it at all.
I know, that's always a good thing. Well, that'll be their dinner wouldn't it? Yeah.
That's the same that we had paid for the barbecue chicken.
Way to go.
Wow, keep your point down. Okay. All right. Anybody
Come from
else?
this side.
I think they've checked out.
Okay, well, can you put this on? Go ahead.
I think so. You guys signed your sheets and everything?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you guys please thank
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You guys have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Well, yeah, we'll figure out what's going on with that.